Hi guys, welcome to my first tutorial. Today we're going to be doing just a basic everyday face. I'm currently active duty Air Force, so I don't get to do crazy eyeliners or big eyelashes. I keep it pretty basic. So let's get started. Right now I'm currently double priming. With the change in the weather, I just recently moved from Hawaii to Ohio in the wintertime. So the temperatures have been pretty drastic. My face has been pretty dry. So I've been double priming. I use the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer on the majority of my face, basically my cheeks, my forehead, my chin, and then I take my Estee Lauder Matte Perfecting Primer and I use that just in my T-zone area where I stay oily. So over the nose, up through the eyebrows, just like that. All right. And then I take my damp Real Techniques Beauty Sponge and I use my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Always gotta have full coverage. I'm currently in the shade 2C3 Fresco. And I take that, and we're just gonna dab that all over. I try not to get too much product up underneath my eyes. I'll go in with concealer after I get my foundation on. The less product I tend to use up there, the less creasing I see throughout the day. So I try to keep my foundation away from those areas. All right. Once we get that blended out, let's take it down just a little bit. All right, we'll go in with our Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Light. This stuff is pretty full coverage, so I usually wipe off quite a bit before going in under the eye. Take some over the tip of our nose. Cupid's bow. And then up between the eyebrows. And then we'll take our beauty sponge and blend this out. Take this up over the eyelid. My skin has been so dry since I got to Ohio. It was 6 degrees the other day. And my friends who are still in Hawaii were complaining about 75 degrees and rain. So, all right. Now that we got all of that blended out, sorry, I've been fighting a cold, so I'm probably going to be taking drinks of water throughout this video and clearing my throat. Sorry about that. And I'm currently using the Chanel cream bronzer. I'm not even going to attempt to say this name. And I'm going to take my beauty blender, my beauty sponge, just go in there and take it down along cheekbones and up along the outline of my forehead. Blending. All right. On to the next side. I don't typically do a really strong contour daily just because it's really not worth the effort. I just kind of bronze up my cheeks and my face just to kind of make it look like I'm not as pale as I really am. All right, and then just to clean it up a little bit, I will take, excuse me, just a bit of concealer. I'm actually going to put this on my beauty blender. And just kind of take it down under my bronzer just to kind of clean it up a little bit. Blend it out. All right. Now I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Beach Stick. This is in the shade Moon Beach. And this is a lip and cheek color stick. So it's a really pretty peachy pink color. It's very similar to like a cream NARS Orgasm Blush. Excuse me, sorry. And I like to go in with this first, just to kind of color up the cheeks a little bit. I'm almost out of this, and nowhere around me sells Charlotte Tilbury anymore, but they did in Hawaii, and I'm so sad. Blend this out over the cheeks and along the cheekbones. All right, and then I'm currently mixing my Cover FX enhancer drops in Sunlight. These moved with me, so the the outside of it's looking a little ratchet right now. Got tore up in the luggage, so I take just a little bit of this and put this on the end of my beauty sponge. And then I also take the, because this is a little dramatic for every day, but then I also take the liquid Becca Cosmetic liquid champagne pop, collaboration with Jaclyn Hill. And then we just take this and take it along our cheekbones, tip of our nose, our cupid's bow, and we blend. I was so afraid of highlighter for the longest time because I was so oily, and I just thought, why would you add more shine to your face if you're oily? But then Champagne Pop came through, and I just couldn't resist. So now I wear all the highlight. All right. So now that I have all of my cream products on, I'll go through and just kind of make sure that my under eyes have not started creasing at all. And then I will come through with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to take this Morphe brush. It does not have a number, so sorry about that. It just came in a collection that I bought years ago. So I'll pack this in here and pack it up underneath my under eye and over the eyelid to keep from creasing. And then I'll use this huge brush from Sephora. This is the Pro Featherweight Powder Brush, 91. It is incredible. I love this brush. And so I'll just go in with some powder. Let's tap off the, all right. We'll just go in all over the face. Once we're done with that, excuse me, we're going to go in and do eyebrows. I use a combination of the Anastasia Brow Wiz. So I'll go in with this first. All right, hang on, let me grab. Here we go. All right. I go in with the Brow Wiz first to kind of just outline the brows. I didn't mean to put my mirror in your face, I'm sorry. And so I go underneath, and of course, the top, kind of round them out. I try not to get real crazy with my brows on an everyday basis, just because in uniform, we're not supposed to wear dramatic makeup. So try to keep it pretty light because everyone always wants to say something to me about my nails or my earrings or something. They've always got something to say. So I try to keep them off my makeup so, you know, I don't get in too much trouble. So come in, try to match these babies up. Okay, so for the most part, they're pretty outlined. And then I'll go in with the Anastasia Brow Definer, which is just a larger version of the Brow Wiz. So, okay, and then, so this kind of just makes it a little bit easier to fill them in. Small strokes here in the front, just so it doesn't look too drawn in. And then brush them out. Do the same on this side. The brow definer has kind of has like two sides to the actual applicator. So one end is a little bit thinner than the other. So that's where I'll go in and do the smaller strokes in the front with the smaller end, and then I'll turn it sideways just to kind of fill in the brow a little bit faster and a little less dramatic, just just kind of fill it in a little bit more natural looking. As natural as drawn in eyebrows can look, I guess. All right, my eyebrows are a mess right now. They really need to be done. But I haven't found a place to thread them yet here in Ohio because my skin is too sensitive to be waxed. So once I find somewhere to thread them, maybe I won't have bushy eyebrows anymore. Okay. All right, and then after that, we will move on to our eye makeup. So, this little palette right here, my best friend and I would go into Sephora all the time. And you know the little bends right there in the, like when you're walking up to pay, they have like all the little like travel size stuff. And every time I go through there, not that I need any more stuff, but every time I go through there, I'm like, oh, Diana, look, this would be so fun to travel with. And this would be so fun to travel with. And so one day I got a bag full of travel things. And this was in there. And this was one of the palettes that I really enjoy. It's kind of got a great range of colors for a nice smoky golden eye. So I'm going to start with the shade Whisper, which is this lightest shade up here in the corner. And I just have a big fluffy brush that I'm just going to apply that all over with. And do the same on the other side. Sorry if it doesn't seem like I'm looking at you guys. I have a big mirror right behind you guys that I'm trying to look into to kind of figure out what I'm doing to my face. All right, and then I'll go in with a blending brush. This is from the Sephora Disney collaboration that they did with Minnie Mouse. I ordered the whole collection because I'm a little obsessive and I love Disney. I went for my 21st birthday. So, and then I'm going to take this lighter shade right under Whisper. It's called Wink. It's like a really, really, really pale, almost kind of lavender color. And I just kind of bring this up into the crease just for really minimal dimension, nothing too crazy. Now, if I'm running late on time, this is it. Throw on some mascara and we go for the day. But if I have some time to play around, I'll go in next with the next darker color. Here on the bottom row, the shade is First Kiss. I'll take this in to the outer corner and up into the crease. And blend it out. I'm using the same brush for this. And then we're going to take, excuse me, this Makeup Forever palette. It's the Artist Shadows. I don't even know. It's the Professional palette. It's palette 1. It's a little dirty, but it's this palette here that has all the neutral, kind of bronzy colors. And I'm going to take this kind of more taupey gray color here. This is ME644. If you guys ever go to look for it, either in the palette or separately. We'll use this to darken up the outer crease. And then we're gonna go in with, believe it or not, when Ulta was having the 50% off sale for the Naked Smoky palette, I grabbed it, and it's my first Naked palette ever. So I've been doing makeup for quite a while now, a few years, and I just bought my first Naked palette. I feel like I'm a little backwards. I don't know why you would buy that after so long. But anyways, we're gonna go in with the very first color in this palette, High. It's like a really pretty like rose gold color. And then we're just gonna put this all over our lid to give it a little bit of shine. Oh, this is a Morphe, it's a flat brush. I just use it for kind of packing on pigment for something like this when I just need it here on the eyelid. It's Morphe MB10. Not really sure what set that came in either, but I have like 4 Morphe brush sets that I just buy a ton of them every time they're on sale. So okay. So once we get a little bit on our lids, we'll be done with that. All right. So basically, that is it for eyes. Let me see, where did this go? Oh, here we go. Back in the Makeup Forever palette, I used the this very top white shade. It's ME512, this one here, and I use that as my brow highlight. So I'll pack that on this kind of like pointed flat brush. I have no idea. It's from a brush set that I got at Target a long time ago, so I have no idea what you would even call this. But then we'll just fill this in underneath the brow. Bring it in. Okay. And we'll do the same thing over here. This also helps kind of define the brow out without having to go in with your actual concealer and all of that. If you're not trying to go full glam and you're trying to keep things pretty simple for the day. All right, so now we're going to do our powder products for the face. So I'm going to go in with the FX bronzer in Sunkissed. And I'm going to take this brush. It's a contour brush. That's literally what it's called. I picked it up at TJ Maxx once. So it doesn't even have like a brand on it or anything. It's just a contour brush. But I love the shape of it. So if anybody has any suggestions on similar shapes, similar brushes with this shape, I would greatly appreciate that. So then I'll just go in with that bronzer. It's a matte bronzer, which I like for everyday use just because then you're not too shiny. And so I'll take that, we'll just drag it down into the hollows of our cheeks. And blend that out. And then take it up into this big old forehead. I have to wear my hair back in uniform, so I always pull my makeup back right into my hairline. That way, not only do I not have, when you wear your hair down and your hair's in your face, you kind of have to worry about like the makeup lines underneath your, under your chin, like if your foundation's on the right color or something. But when you wear your hair up, you don't have to just worry about it down here. You have to, if you're scalp's a different color over here. You gotta make sure it's all blended out. So go ahead and blend that out. Excuse me. And then I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in Incandescent Electra. It's a really, really pretty pink. Really just a pink. It's a very bright pink, so you have to be careful with this. I very lightly just tap this angled blush brush in there and tap off all the excess, you know, that stuff. And then brush it over my cheeks like so, bringing it back along the cheekbones so I don't just have big red circles in the front of my face. I don't want to look like a Barbie doll. Or maybe I do. I don't know. So, bring it back. Sometimes if I ever feel like maybe I want a little heavy-handed on the blush, or it just doesn't seem to blend out very well, like maybe right under my eyes or coming in towards my nose, I'll go back in with my big fat fluffy brush wherever I put that. Here we go. And I'll just kind of take a little bit of this translucent powder and I'll just blend out over it and just kind of soften the effects of the last layer of powder. And then that way it's a little bit softer and not as harsh. All right, so then my friend talked me into purchasing a limited edition Burberry highlighter. It's in Nude Gold number 2. It's from the Spring Summer 2016 Runway collection. This thing is filthy. I mean, look at all the highlighter around it. And there used to be a very delicate, beautiful rose design on the inside, but as you can see, since it's used almost every day, it's not there anymore. But this is my go-to everyday highlighter, and I am going to be heartbroken when I finally hit pan on this thing. But it seems to be pretty stocked, because I have used this almost every single day, sometimes multiple times a day when I like freshen up in the evenings and whatnot before dinner or something like that. And it barely has a dip in it. The design is gone on the outside, but it barely has a dip in it, let alone getting close to the pan. So I'm definitely pleased with that. Hopefully the highlighting gods, stay in my favor and allow me to use this forever. Like they just magically come back and replace it when I'm sleeping. Kind of like a tooth fairy brings you money when you lose your teeth. Something like that. But alright, take this. This is another Morphe brush. It's from another collection that I have. It doesn't have a number or anything like that. I just bought it in a set. Okay. I have, of course, I just bought the Clarisonic Mia brush cleanser, and of course, literally not even 2 days later, I already have, a couple spots coming out. They warn you about the purge, but you don't believe it until it happens, and it's very frustrating, especially right before the holidays when I know my family's going to be taking a ton of pictures. So I don't wear any eyeliner on a daily basis, mostly because I just don't do well with eyeliner. Never have. Never seems to get better, no matter how hard I try. So when it comes to day in and day out, just don't really play with that. Right now I'm currently using the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. A friend of mine got me started on it when she came to visit me in Hawaii, and I haven't put it down since. That's my second one, and that was only a couple months ago. So this is my everyday. I'm going to bring in a smaller mirror to do this closer up. Just go in with my ridiculous mascara face. Sometimes I like to like close my eye when I'm putting on mascara. I feel like it kind of separates my lashes a little bit better than when I pull the brush through the lashes. It could just be me being crazy. I don't know, but that's something that I do, and I tend to not put mascara really on my bottom lashes unless it kind of just falls down there, like as I'm coming through. So, all right. Almost done here. Probably look ridiculous as you guys are watching me do this. I've never filmed myself before, so I am thrilled to go back through this and see how many times I said like, or repeated myself, or said something incorrectly and just look ridiculous. So we'll be enjoying this together. You guys can laugh at me, I'll laugh at me. We'll have a good time. It'll be fun. Definitely go back through this probably with a glass of wine because, you know, nerves, anxiety, all those things. So then, all right. Okay, and then we'll finish it off with our Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. What's the rule? Like, oh yeah, 2 to 4 times, 8 to 10 inches away from the face. I don't think anybody actually applies that rule. I don't think I've ever sprayed this less than 5 or 6 times. But, you know, you don't want anything to move throughout the day. And since we work, sometimes if my makeup begins to crease, if I know I'm going to have a really long day, I will take a beauty blender with me throughout the day. Look how dirty this is already. I will take one with me throughout the day just to go into the bathroom real quick and maybe touch up my laugh lines or underneath my eyes if I feel like my eyes may be creasing a little more than I'd like. Because let's be honest, there's not really any holy grail. When you have creases under your eyes, your makeup's going to crease. Unless someone knows of a holy grail that they could share with me because I haven't found one yet. Excuse me. I don't typically wear like a really matte lip just because right now I am in such a dry climate that it's a pain to wear anything but chapstick. So right now my go-to lipstick is the YSL number 9. It's got a whole bunch of different numbers down here, like a series of numbers and a number in a box. I don't know. Anyways, it's a really pretty kind of mauve-y color, but it does not look like this when it goes on. So go ahead and it's a really sheer kind of pink color. It's just so beautiful for everyday wear. I just load this stuff on because it feels so silky on the lips. I love it. And it has this really like fruity kind of flavor, almost like, I don't know, like mangoes or something. I don't know. But it's delicious. So, this is it. I think we're done, guys. This is my everyday go-to look. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Sorry, my screen locked while I was recording. So this is it. We're done. I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys have any questions, just comment, let me know, and I'll get back to you.